Hi guys, today I wanted to talk to you about self-publishing versus traditional publishing. There's a lot of ways authors can go today, so it's good to know all of your options. The traditional route of getting an agent to sell your work to a large publisher isn't dead, but it is losing its prevalence. There's a lot of people out there who think traditional publishers aren't keeping with the times, and frankly, they're right. After dealing with indie publishers for years, I found that there's nothing that they can do that I can't do. Even with the larger publishers, if you're not Stephen King, you're not going to get any marketing revenue from them, and so really you're marketing it on your own anyway. There's been some talk online as well that traditional publishers won't even look at you without a social media following, which just goes to show you that they're not even interested in marketing your books, they want you to do it yourself anyway. Meanwhile, with traditional publishing, you might be making a couple of cents a book, but if you publish it yourself, you could be making dollars a book. Some argue that you won't sell as many books if you're not on a traditional publishing house, but that's not necessarily true. I used to work for a very large chain of bookstores, and what would happen with traditional publishing books is after 3 to 6 months, if your book wasn't selling a certain quota, we would just take it off the shelves, either send it back to them or recycle them. What do you think happened to the author? They were dropped from the publisher. With self-publishing, if you put something online, it's there forever. So the question you have to ask yourself is, to what links would you go to see your book in a store, however briefly? Keeping in mind that if your self-published book does well, you can sell your mass market paperback rights to a large publisher. When you sign with a large traditional publisher, you're going to sell all of your rights, including mass market paperback, trade paperback, foreign rights, audiobook, everything. However, if you self-publish first and then do well, you can sell individual rights to a traditional publisher later, and secure your own foreign rights and your own audiobook rights deals. This puts the power back in your hands, where you can negotiate better deals with higher profit margins. A lot of authors don't want to think about this kind of stuff. They just want to submit it and forget it so they can go on to their next novel. However, if you do think about this kind of stuff, you're going to be able to write more and depend less on income from other sources. Finally, if you take one look at the people who are against self-publishing, you'll find that most of their income probably depends on traditional publishing. Some look at self-publishing and see a drop in quality, but that doesn't have to be true. I like to look at self-published books as more of a meritocracy. Now with a quick look inside on Amazon and online reviews and blogs and Twitter and everywhere else, you're going to find out how good a book is before you read it. So all in all, I am more for self-publishing than traditional publishing. However, I wouldn't be opposed to a mass market paperback deal with a traditional publisher. It would, however, depend on what's in the deal. In future videos, I'll help you along your process to self-publishing, including cover design, starting a blog, starting social media accounts, and more. A lot goes into these things besides just starting a blog or a social media account and writing some posts, so I'll teach you how to grow a following as well. Finally, it's not just about marketing, it's about writing a good book. So, I'll help you on that process as well. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Wednesday on writing, social media, and the publishing industry, so stay tuned for more. Bye! I wanted to share with you some of the great things that have been happening and some of the things I have in the pipe. First, I want to talk about the third novel in the Corsair Uprising series, called Death Wish, which comes out this summer. I recently released the cover, which you can see right here.